Hi everyone, it's Crafty Kathy here with another edition of Challenge Accepted. This week, Shannon Allor and I are taking on the Week 2 challenge in the Summer Challenge over at Mind the Scrap. And it's a team challenge. There are 4 teams, and this week Team 2 chose the rules for Week 2. And all of their rules begin with the letter D. So what's required is a D word in the title. The design has to be diagonal. There has to be a doily with at least half showing. You have to have dotty paper in there somewhere, and you have to distress something. So, in addition to that, I'm going to try to do all 7 of this week's rules for the love of pretty paper. And that it only because it kind of fits what I wanted to do today anyway, and I'll explain that to you later. The requirements there are beach, something fussy cut, the color pink, numbers, something multicolored, triangles, and you have to draw. So doodle somewhere on the page. So I think I've got all of that here. We'll check at the end of the process. I've done a lot of the work ahead of time, including kind of laying out the design, and I didn't want to do, it took quite a bit of time to do some of this, but I'll kind of tell you where I am. I'm using, in addition, I'm using the tail end of my, let me get those pieces. This washi tape that I mounted on hot pink paper, and this, and the flare and some sequins and these straws are all what I have left, plus these things of my Creative Cuts Club kit for July. And I'm determined to kill this kit before my August kit arrives. And this goes a little towards doing that. There were some beautiful cuts that I've done on some previous layouts. This is a cut file that I picked up. It was, I think it came in another kit that I got somewhere. There were 3 hearts. This is the last one I have left. This netting I've used, and I'm going to use the last of it today kind of as an under layer there. Okay. To satisfy the pink and the triangle and the diagonal design, I've got these pink dot and the dotty paper. I've got these pink dotty papers in the corners. I'm going to put this one down, and then I'll show you how I distressed those edges. I'm also going to distress a photo by tearing it, but I'll do that in a minute. How I distressed this was very simply. I actually couldn't at the time lay hands on my Tim Holtz distressing tool, which gives you a little bit more even look. But because this dotty paper is on a white background and I'm putting it on a white sheet of cardstock, I kind of want something to make the edges stand out. So I'm going to leave this edge that goes to the inside of the design smooth. And I'm going to kind of go back and really distress some of these and tear and fold over. There's some pretty colors on the other side of this paper. It's a Bella Boulevard, I think. That's not it. This is it right here. It's this is what's left after I cut the triangles off of it, and I intentionally cut the triangles in a size so that I could leave this Be Impossible to Forget as a title element for a layout that I'm going to do. And the washi tape I'll show you later. I wanted to fussy cut it, but I had to make it a little bit less flimsy than just fussy cutting washi tape. That was just not in my wheelhouse. So I mounted it on this pink paper so that the white, the pink, dark pink would show through the white, and it would be the same light pink as the dots. And that kind of worked out perfectly. This is an ideology or meology paper from Fancy Pants, and I love this strip side, but I really love this bright pink, and I probably will use those two together on another layout at another time. Okay, let me pull my pink there. Okay, let me get back to, got squirrel there for a minute, and I need to get back to distressing this and kind of folding back the edges. Okay, so that's kind of all I'm gonna do there. That's such a pretty side, I almost hate to cover it up, but I love the pink polka dots, and they're perfect for the requirements for this week's Mind the Scrap Challenge. Okay, so I've got this picture, just a little background. What is driving me to do this layout is that on Thursday, the day that challenge accepted videos are published, Thursday happens to be my husband's and my 38th wedding anniversary. This photo was taken last year on our anniversary at Pensacola Beach at Margaritaville Beach Hotel, which is where we went for our anniversary. We were supposed to go there again this year, but Ava's had a really, really, really rough couple of weeks, and we wanted to be here for her and for her mom and dad to help out with the older kids, because everybody's getting ready to go to school. There are orientations and school shopping and school supply shopping and all kinds of arrangements to be made in case Ava can't attend school in the first few days to be able to get her work and things like that. So we decided to cancel that trip, and we'll go later. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. I've chosen my main color scheme here is gonna be the pink and kind of the aqua blue, and both of those colors are in this photo, which we took in Tonga in 2015 when we did a cruise of the South Pacific. So I'm going to distress this photo. It's kind of going to be a background photo. I've used this photo, the original, and also filtered versions, because the colors are just so beautiful. I've used it many times, but in this case I'm just going to use it kind of as a background for the other photo. And this is the washi tape. It was straight across, and I'll show you. I already showed you the bright pink paper that I mounted it on. This is the other side of it. And it was easier to smooth out and much easier to fussy cut. I'm kind of going to just lay it here and not really glue it down very much, because I may want to curl it up. I want to be sure that it's parallel with the angle that I've created there. Again, I'm kind of moving things around because I'm wanting to see how they look. Let's see, let's take these out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I think that works, and this is kind of cut off straight here. I don't know if you can see that. So I've got I fussy cut. I mounted some of the washi tape on some vellum. You can kind of see here what I've done, and then I fussy cut around that vellum. That vellum is not the same color as the hot pink that this is on, but it shows through as pink, which is good. So I'll use these as I would use ephemera, but I've got a piece that would complete that, and I'm not really going to try to exactly match it up, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up trying to do with that. Okay, I want to put, first of all, I'm going to put the doily down, and I want enough of the doily showing, and I'm going to overlap this heart, and I'm kind of debating whether to put the heart at the angle. I think I will put the heart at the angle. I'm going to just put a little dot of liquid glue on here and put it down, kind of offset a little to the side. Same here, I'm not going to really glue it down very much. I kind of want it, and I want part of it with the doily showing through and part with the pink dotty paper showing through. Okay, this is going to be a kind of a loose background, and I will not mind if a lot of it gets covered up. I'm kind of going to put it at an angle which will allow more of it to show when I put the photos on at a different angle. So this is kind of how I envisioned putting these photos on. Okay, this is, I really ought to make that, I'm going to staple this actually onto here. Let me get this on, and then this, maybe that makes a nice photo cluster. And again, I want to put it at the angle because everything's going to be angled along that diagonal. So I'm going to let this netting show. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to cut the netting in half and put a little at the top. I'll staple a little to the top and a little to the bottom so that it shows both places. Let me kind of get that, and let me grab my stapler. Hopefully there are staples. If not, we'll haul out the glue. Let's see what I can do here. That didn't touch the... Okay. I've got staples there. We'll see what we can do about adding some embellishments that might cover those up, or we'll see if we really want to just go with that. So this one kind of goes up there. Actually, it's sort of straight across there. Let me get this there. Okay. And I think I haven't stapled through anyone's face, so that's a good thing. I'm going to put some foam behind this so that I can tuck things under if I like. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Tape that off camera, of course. And there, again, love this scrapbook adhesive Easy Runner Grand, because the adhesive is the only kind that actually will come off nicely on foam. Okay, so I've got the photo cluster there. That staple doesn't hardly show. Let me put, I've got this flare that says Beach Fun. I'm going to put it up here where those two staples showed through. And now I'm ready to put the title on. The title is 13,880 Days with the Love of My Life. And that's going to go right here. And it's okay that netting, even when I kind of dry fit the pieces together, I didn't mind that the netting kind of overlapped it. So there, and then this one down here is 200 beaches in 15 countries around the world. So I'm going to put that down, tuck this down, and it's going to be under the heart, which is one of the reasons that I let the heart stay up. Let me get a little adhesive on there and there, and we can tuck that there. It's a and putting, even overlapping the doily still allows at least half of the doily to show. So basically that's the design. I've got the diagonal line of shells here, the pink dotty paper, I've fussy cut, I've got my photo and some vellum scraps that I kind of stuck behind there. I wish you could see more of this blue vellum. It's actually maybe you can see it here. It's like water. I've probably had that for 10 years. Let's see. Now I'm going to put on some, let me use some foam backing on here. I'll put on some of these fussy cut shells. And the first thing I'm going to try to do is mount the other end of that shell, but I kind of want it to look loose, if you will, like not like I'm trying to match the match it right up to that shell, but maybe kind of overlap it. So I've put it on some foam, and this is glued down. So I'm gonna kind of do that, and then I will go around it with some others. I'll kind of accent it maybe with a little shell, this is a little starfish. And it's almost, when you, I kind of want to show you this, I put this is the, showed you, it's this washi tape on the vellum, and when you fussy cut it out, it's kind of cute that it's outlined in pink instead of white. But on the other side, it's really kind of a cute little pink flower. So just, you know, kind of silly things that you see in the course of throwing pages together. Let me see where I might want to put this. It could go kind of, I could tuck it right back in there. And I've got this one that I can tuck maybe right here. There we go. And I've got this other one, which is kind of the end of one of those, and it should be tucking out of somewhere. So if I put it elsewhere in the photo cluster like this, then I've got a triangle of shells tucked behind the photo cluster, so that becomes part of it. And I've got these that I held in reserve in case I wanted to cut those out, but I do not. So let me now, I thought I might try to use these straws, but I have a different idea for those, so I'm going to put them in the tray to use later. And now I'm going to add some bits and bobs. Well, actually, let's do, the first thing I'm going to do is some doodling inside some of these pink dots. And I thought, there's my magic white pen. It may actually be running low on ink. I've used it a couple times this morning already. So let me draw hearts inside a few of these. And I didn't want it to be too I toyed with the idea of maybe outlining the hearts in black. I didn't want it to be that jarring. I don't have black anywhere else on the layout, so I think these hearts will satisfy the doodling requirement, and so that's done. Now, just for some bling, I thought I might use, since there's so much white here, I love these white sequins, and I thought I might sprinkle a few of those around. So I'm going to dot myself a few spots, and once I get I'll let the large sequins be the kind of to define the cluster, and then I'll add in other colors after the fact to kind of be more of the sprinkles. So there's that cluster. I'm going to do another cluster here. I try not to make perfect triangles. Not always successful. Sometimes they look a little matchy-matchy when I embellish, and then I have to go back and add other things to kind of take the emphasis off of that matchy-matchiness. So everybody knows matchy-matchy is a bad thing, right? It's actually the non-matchy-matchy philosophy is the crutch used by those who don't plan. Okay, I'm going to add this sequin seashell here to the right before the part of the title that says 200 beaches, and I'm going to add the aqua shell. I think I'd prefer a metallic one, so I'll go with don't like silver metallic. Let me see if I have another pink one. Well, we'll go with the iridescent. The iridescent almost looks metallic. So I'll kind of put it here, and then I'll look back and see if I want to, if I want to add in any of these blue sequins, and I think I'm actually going to leave it as it is. I like that the only sequins there are white. I like this little pop of hot pink down here. I like this little pop of aqua there. So 13,880 days I have spent with this wonderful man, and we visited 200. It's all about counting the beaches, right? So we've been to 200 beaches in 15 countries. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue to hold this corner down, and I'm going to call this quits. Let's see if we have everything we need. I have a D word in the title, days. It's certainly a diagonal design. I've got a doily that you can see more than half of. I've got dotty paper, and I have distressed the dotty paper as well as torn the photo, which counts as distressing. And that satisfies the main challenge that Shannon and I are doing, which is the week 2 of Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge. And For the Love of Pretty Paper, week 2 of their summer requirements is, let's see, we've got beach, and so I've got beach, I've got the word beach, and I've got a picture of us at a beach, and then a picture of a beach in Tonga. I have fussy cut the washi tape, And I've got the color pink. I've got numbers in the number of beaches and the number of days. I've got multicolor. Certainly the seashells are multicolored. I kept within that kind of pastel range there. I've got triangles. These two triangles actually define my diagonal design, and I've done some drawing, a little bit of drawing of hearts in the middle of the pink dots. So I think I've satisfied the requirements for both of those sets of challenges, and I'm going to say this one is done. And happy anniversary to my wonderful husband. Those 13,880 days have been absolutely wonderful, and I love you very much. So, bye. Hope you enjoyed.